Where is this guy?
Andrew. Where's Ian?
They took him. They've got Ian.
Where's my brother?
They've got him. We took the orb. They want it back.
We shouldn't have gone there. They're too powerful.
Mark, we need more men. Mark, this is suicide.
Dave.
Get more men.
Where is this guy?
Andrew. Where's Ian?
They took him. They've got Ian.
Where's my brother?
They've got him. We took the orb. They want it back.
We shouldn't have gone there. They're too powerful.
Mark, we need more men. Mark, this is suicide.
Dave.
Get more men.
Do you even know how to use that? Pass it here. I'll show you.
Forget this.
Stand up. Phone now. Now!
Take this. Go home to your mum, okay? Bullies.
our programming today with some breaking news. We've been receiving reports of the troubling likelihood of the cousins staying with us. The cousins are 6 and 8 years old and both approximately 500 pounds and 7 inches tall. Their extended stay with us will have far-reaching and serious consequences, namely 2 headaches an hour and depletion of snacks in the pantry. In other news, Dad's bought a brand of bread we're unfamiliar with. Let's go live to our correspondent, me, in the living room. We've always been a 50-50 Kingsmill family, but due to current circumstances, we had to adjust. At 9:55 a.m. this morning, my dad brought back the shopping, but instead of what we're used to, he brought back Hobie's soft white. Will the family adjust, or will we have to forego eating bread altogether? Thank you. Lastly tonight, Mum's cooking an authentic Mexican menudo, in which the main ingredient is
cow's stomach.
The aroma of the meal is unbearable, and it has been reported that people all over the house are failing to concentrate on their Netflix binge. As of this moment, we have not been granted access to a kitchen, and Mum has declined to comment. And now, the weather.
Thank you, Ayan. It's room temperature.
Thank you, and good night.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
How are you finding working from home?
Enjoying the freedom of being creative in my own space. Yeah.
Ooh, I really like your outfit. You always look so ready.
Thank you.
So, like, what projects are you focusing on at the moment?
Lots of writing, designing, being creative. And yourself?
Same, you know. A lot of people are complaining about being at home, but I love it. So easy working from home.
Same. I'm enjoying being at home.
Doesn't it get lonely though, like living on your own?
No, no, I'm not that kind of person that really needs people around me, so I don't really get bored that much.
Wow.
I've been doing a lot of exercise, lots of running, you know, stuff like that.
Same. Like, I never used to exercise, but now I do it more than I ever have in my life, so I guess this whole lockdown is kind of a blessing in disguise, right?
Isn't it just? Yeah, it's just awesome, I think. It's really great.
I have like my entire family here, so many people just yelling, and like 8 people just running into each other, yelling each other's ears, fighting about what to watch on TV, so I don't know, I don't think I could adjust to living alone.
Yeah, it sounds like it's quite hectic.
Yeah.
They say if a samurai is to be brave, he must have a drop of black blood. Yet what do they mean by black? The complete absorption of visible light? The darkest shade? Evil? Or could they mean prestige or experience? For a black belt in martial arts is the highest honor. But more pressingly, do they mean the blood of an African? The motherland of mankind, the heart of darkness.
I'm not sure if I should be narrating this.
Why?
Because I'm not Japanese or African.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's not going to be as authentic if I do it.
That's open to interpretation.
You managed to get Japanese actors though, right?
Sure.
My story begins and ends here, with me and my boyfriend. Nothing could have prepared us for what we were about to learn.
It'll be fine. Hi, Mom.
What happened next was fascinating. I was launched back to 16th century Japan and immersed in a gripping narrative about honor and loss.
I don't get it. Is this supposed to be a fantasy or set in the real world?
Why does it matter?
Well, because if it's a fantasy story, then maybe you should have an old man narrating it, like Gandalf or something.
Gandalf? It's not a fantasy. I never said it was a fantasy.
Maybe that's open to interpretation.
Yasuke, the Black Samurai, arrived on the island of Japan in 1579 with a Jesuit priest. It is said that so many people gathered to see his dark skin that a Jesuit church nearly collapsed. Upon hearing the noise nearby, Oda Nobunaga expressed an interest in seeing the foreign man. Suspecting that his dark skin was black ink, he had Yasuke stripped down and scrubbed. How would this have made Yasuke feel, I wonder? Did the scrubbing cause him pain? What we do know is that soon after these events, Yasuke became a loyal servant to Oda Nobunaga and was eventually granted the high prestige of samurai. Nobunaga claimed that Yasuke had the strength of 10 men, and his nephew even presented Yasuke with a sum of money upon their first meeting.
Okay, I'm a bit lost again.
Why?
Well, what's all this got to do with Dana and her boyfriend?
We're getting to that.
Okay, just curious, man. Little is known of Yasuke's story after Nobunaga's death. Speculation and myth is all that we have.
But that all changed today. Because today is the day I decided to bring my boyfriend home. I always knew my mother as a quiet woman, but for the first time in years, she spoke with me for hours. My mother, the woman so proud of her heritage and her culture, is the person who revealed to me that I am a descendant of Yasuke, the famous African samurai. Full of secrets, my father used to say. And today my mother revealed them all. Her reaction to my boyfriend had not been one of hostility. It had been one of ancestral astonishment. When I came back home that night, she told me about our family's bloodline and explained that we were descendants of Oda Nobunaga's most loyal samurai. She told me stories that the history books don't possess. She told me how Yasuke had chosen to stay in Japan against the advice of the Jesuits and despite the perilous threat of Nobunaga's enemies. For one reason, and one reason only. He found love. Yasuke fell in love with my great-great-great-grandmother. Alas, this story does not have the happily ever after you might have been hoping for. When word got out that Yasuke had chosen to remain in Japan, and in addition had taken a Japanese wife, the torches were lit and the mobs gathered. Yasuke and my great-grandmother became the hunted. For months, my ancestors were chased by ignorant folk, seeking nothing more than a monetary reward. I would love to tell you that they always escaped. But there's no need to lie. The reason I am able to pass on this story is due to the bravery of good friends of Yasuke. For Yasuke and my great-great-great-grandmother had a child. A child she had given birth to on the run. Yasuke's friends kept the child safe, but promised to never let the truth of the child's heritage be lost. And today, it is not lost, but found.
Basically, this is Knowle West Festival and Cables and Cameras Homecoming event. So this is really strange that we're all in these little boxes for this, and normally we'd meet up on stage and talk and hang out and do our thing and unpack the wonderful creativity of our filmmakers who are here. So just a really brief introduction. My name is Adam Murray and I'm a Bristol-based film programmer. And I usually collaborate with a collective of film programmers called Come the Revolution. Obviously today's Cables and Cameras, another group called Common Hand. And coming up in October, I'm hoping to launch Bristol Black Horror Club. I'd like to thank Knowle West Media Centre and the festival and everyone involved that's allowed this to take place. I just wanted to quickly also thank the filmmakers of all the films that have been screened. today. So Gary Thompson's 25 years of Full Cycle Records. Michael Ellis, who's with us, Boys in the Woods. Inner by, is it Mavis Burungi?
Mavis Burungi.
Mavis Burungi.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mavis, that was a really good film. I'm going to ask Dee about that when we get a chance as well. Because Dee, didn't you do the voiceover?
Yeah.
Comment is fantastic. Lockdown News by Dee Hassan, who we have right here with us. Mandem, so Elias and the Guys with my best short film ever, which is quite controversial and fiery film, but really kind of unpacks some of the mythology around representation, particularly in short films, race and sexuality. So it's a great film. And The West. Oh, we're getting a little bit of feedback loop, aren't we? And The West, which is Black Font versus George Kurtz. Just a really great selection of films. So thank you, Gary Thompson, for that. Right, let's get into some questions. First up, I'm just happy that the three of you guys are here because, you know, like Dee, I know I've met Michael and Pierre before, so that, you know, I'm excited to hear what they've got to say, and it's lovely to meet you as well, Dee. So that's like a new creative friend. So here we go, Michael. First off, wanted to talk to you about Boys in the Woods. So my first question was, bro, I see that T Visuals is in the credits. How's he doing? What was that collaborative relationship like working on Boys in the Woods? Because it's beautifully shot.
Okay. Yeah, so first I just want to say hi to Dee and Pierre. And yeah, I just want to thank Knowle West for this opportunity for screening the film. And thank Cables and Cameras too. In regards to T Visuals, he's doing okay. He's doing all right. Like many of us, he's just a little bit frustrated with all the restrictions that are in place that are kind of hindering and good. In relation to the film Boys in the Woods, the collaboration was good. Like we help each other out on sets. I help him out on his sets. He helps me out on mine. So on Boys in the Woods, he was filming behind the scenes for me, and you know, he's very creative with that. And he just shoot. He just creates good, and I enjoy working with him. I help him a lot. He helps me a lot, doing whatever needs to be done. Really.
Yeah, because I mean, like the last time we spoke, it was great to kind of. Like the energy in the room between you guys is phenomenal, and camaraderie and laid backness and the willingness to collaborate with each other. So it's no wonder to me that this project really clicks. And like for me personally, it struck a chord because, you know, the two things for me are like Afrofuturism. I love genre cinema, and I just want to see more diasporic stories explored through the power of genre, science fiction, horror, fairy tale, all of these different kinds of things that we're never, you know, in industry wise, we're traditionally not allowed to talk about these things, right, or explore them. So watching Boys in the Woods, it's a film that I love now as an adult, but I would have loved this as a little boy. When I was a little boy, this would have it would have rocked my world because of the representation and what's taking place on screen. Yeah. So where did this idea come from, Mike?
Well, the idea it started off with me just wanting to do a film in the woods because, you know, I've seen a lot of independent filmmakers make films in the woods. So that's what I started off wanting to.
Sorry, Mike, we're getting a little bit of lag.
And yeah, I just came up with the idea about this a group of guys, a group of men. They've just done a robbery and they've come out of this portal and they've ended up in the woods. And then that was the initial idea what I had. In terms of the rest of it, that came because I shared the idea with my girlfriend, and she she was in the middle of a writing course, and you know, she was helping me out with ideas and suggesting stuff, and I said to her, why don't you write this one? And she was excited about it. So yeah, we went through ideas. I left it with her. I was guiding her here and there wherever she needed guiding, and yeah, she, you know, it developed from there, along with some of the, you know, the subtext too that's in there. You know, a lot of that came from her as well. I saw the project as a project to allow people who had an interest in film but have never had the experience. I saw it as an opportunity to give them that experience. So so my girlfriend was one of those people that, you know, she wanted to write, so I let, you know, I let her take lead on that. And even some of the actors in the film, this was their very first time acting. So yeah, I was, you know, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't, initially I didn't think it would be a film that I would be submitting to festivals, or even, like you just said, you know, it being TV worthy or anything like that. It was just a project for me, giving people the experience and the opportunity to be what it is. So yeah, I'm pleased with it. And, you know, some of the subtext in there too. The shoot was scheduled for 3 full days, and we did that. Yeah, we shot it in 3 days, but there was a few more days to do some pickup shots. And yeah, and we probably, because some of those days are dragged out a bit, because on one day it was an overcast day, which is, you know, I like to shoot in overcast days, and so some of the other days it was like the sun was coming in and coming out, which was annoying. So we found that we were, you know, stopping and starting, and in mid conversation while the sun was out, and then as soon as we saw the clouds, we were like, all right, clouds coming, 3, 2, 1. So when the cloud came, we had to work when the clouds was covering the sun. So that, you know, made the day longer than it should have been, but yeah, it was fun and we got it done.
I was going to ask you about the special effects, which were great.
Yeah, well, this was my first time attempting to do anything like this, so I did think a lot about it before going in. And one of the things I knew I would have to do, especially the portal scene, showing the guys, is I knew I was going to have the camera on it, on the tripod. It was going to have to be a static shot, so I can yeah, film it with no one in the scene, and then film it with them doing their thing, so I'd have that to play with. So I knew I was going to have to do that, and I did that, and it worked out well. I did the effect myself, my first time, in still using Final Cut Pro, because that's what I edit with. Yeah, so I was happy with the prosthetics. It looked really realistic and believable, so I was happy with that. Yeah, with the guy floating in the air and stuff, and lifting off the ground, I was pleased with how that came out. But that was just us. We had 2 men. I think I was one of the men, actually, one on either side of the guy, and we just lifted him up. The camera just kept us out of the shot, and then we walked forward with him. And the wide shot where you can see him floating, we had a green screen behind him in that one, and yeah, just keyed that out. Oh, and the shot where the ball goes up into the lady's hand, we did that by just didn't reverse anything. Some people think it was reversed, but
well, I was looking out for that.
Yeah, the camera started off on the
yeah.
Yeah, the camera started off on the bag, and then as the camera went up, to her hand, I had someone else have the ball in their hand and they threw it up into her
that's
hand.
really
so
cool.
I think that took about probably 3 attempts, only 3 attempts. I thought it would have taken more, but
Yeah.
yeah, we did that. I have a friend who is she's a drama teacher. So I called out to her and I reached out to her and asked if she knew of any children that would be confident enough and be able to play the characters. So she sent me some videos of quite a few, about 10 of them. So I had to select 2 from the class. And yeah, it was a good choice. I think they did really well. They were happy with it. First time acting in a film. Yeah, and I think they did a good job. Shaq, the other guy, can't remember how. I think. Oh yeah, I put a post out, and then his mom contacted me, and she sent me some videos of him performing in school and stuff like that. And I looked at him. I said, yeah, he fits the part. He looks right for the part. And then his performance, he nailed it. Yeah, like you said, it's difficult with COVID at the moment. I find out I'm just writing. So I'm writing a pilot for a TV series. I'm in the preliminary stages of that, which is exciting because. Sorry.
Can we hear the pilot? What it's about? Can we get a teaser?
Oh, people have asked me that, but the most I can say is I consider it to be the UK's version of Power.
Oh, cool.
Just my, my latest release, my latest short film that I've just released. Corrupt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've just released that one too, and that's getting really good feedback. It's doing well. I'm really pleased with it, and I feel like I was happy that I was able to release it now because it's very relevant during the current times in terms of what's going on with the police and a lot of black men in the West. So it's in relation to that. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out too. Sorry.
Where can we find the film?
Corrupt is on my YouTube channel, Michael Ellis Films.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can watch that there.
Check it out.
Pierre. Where are my questions? Here are my questions, Pierre. It's really good to see you, man. It's been ages and ages and ages. And we were going to talk about Our City, Your Eyes. I mean, I'd seen Our City, Your Eyes before, and we were able to talk at a panel a year, maybe 2 years ago.
Mental.
I can't remember when it was, but also Splits P was with us as well on the evening. That was such a great evening, and I was really taken aback by the film for many different reasons. And I think the main question, I mean, we'll do a couple of questions that give it a bit of context and go back over sort of your experience, how it came about. But the main thing I sort of wanted to ask you is sort of, in hindsight, from that project to now, what's the kind of what have been some of the outcomes of that collaboration and going to Senegal, and just like, are there any reverberations from that project that kind of resonate to now, or is it one of those things that's like it's done and dusted, or?
Oh wait, hold on, give me a second. All right.
No worries, man.
So with the film, yeah, it's quite mad because I made that back in 2018, and that was an opportunity that came about with Africa Eye and the Arts Council, and me and Joel went out to Senegal and filmed there for like 2 weeks, met a bunch of music artists, met a bunch of creators, and just explored and just like really just absorbed like the environment, like just the motherland. And since then I've been like trying to push it to like festivals and whatnot. And then out of nowhere, like towards like this year, it got into the RTS, the Royal Television Society Festival, and won best short form, which is absolutely mental. Because at that point I'd completely forgotten about the film. I was just like coming back at the start of the year. That was a great way to start the year. So yeah,
I think that's a really important point to make, which I think we probably all agree on, right? Which is one of the strangest things about the craft of filmmaking is you can finish a project, but it still lives and breathes. You know, a film will always find new audiences. So even though it's something you might have done a week ago, 10 years ago, people are still looking at the thing that you've created and collaborated with all the other people that are involved in that project. So I just think that, sorry Pierre, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just think that's such a beautiful point to make.
Yeah, no.
It's one of the pleasures, isn't it, of being a filmmaker, right?
Yeah, honestly, really is. And I think you said it right, that, you know, the film literally had its own life and just kept on like going. And I was kind of impressed because I didn't really know about it because it was submitted through my university. And at that point,
okay,
I had graduated as well. So yeah, it was quite interesting. I was pretty blessed.
So have you collaborated with Splits again, or do you guys keep in contact, or is it just been one of those things of like, because you're both busy dudes, so
yeah, no doubt. Right now I'm currently just finishing off a film actually, and that's what I really want to like advertise and like talk about. So that was something I was as part of the New Creators Initiative by Arts and the Arts Council, and I applied for it like last year, like December or the start of the year in January, and got accepted around March, and we were scheduled to shoot in May, but then like the pandemic hit, and then it was just delayed. But that gave me enough time to really work on the script, and that was really good. And we were just able to shoot it in August, which was really good. And now we're just in the post-production aspect, just polishing up the sound and the music, and yeah, hopefully we should be able to push it out in October.
What was that August shoot like? Did you have any kind of COVID considerations, or?
Yeah, a lot of COVID considerations. Yeah, it was an interesting experience because like we all had to like stay in our own departments, be in like little bubbles. So you had all the sound people in their own department, like sharing their own little bubble, and then we had the camera department and like the extras and the actors. So we had to keep everything separate. And before shooting, we also had to get our certificate, saying that we had gone through the processing and testing of like all the procedures that you need to know working on set and like avoiding risk and hazard and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, it was all quite kind of mad, but yeah, it was a good experience. So yeah, the story originally was meant to, my focus was on exposing Edward Colston, and I had this idea for so long, and I had like a scene about having scenes around like the statue and everything, and then it all got pulled down, and the whole Black Lives Matter movement came through, and I was like, rah, I gotta change my script. And and then like I was talking to a lot of historians, like Bristol historians, and I found a story about this woman called Dina, and that's essentially the name of the film as well, and it's heavily inspired by her life. And she was a runaway slave that was in Bristol, and she was threatened by her mistress to be sent back to the plantation back in the West Indies, and essentially so it's her running away from that and not wanting to be sent back. And and like we have this sort of like so it's a bit about the past as well as the future, because we also follow another character, what do you call it, an international student that's just coming to Bristol, so we're sort of seeing Bristol like from fresh eyes as well. Yeah, so you got that nice contrast. Yeah, hopefully we get to push it out in October, and I'll be advertising it a lot more on my socials and Instagram and website, so yeah, stay tuned.
Best to last. Dee, lovely to meet you. first up, how are you and what's going on? And what's your kind of lockdown experience been like? Because it's just weird, and it's just...
Yeah, no, it's been a weird year since I'm a very new filmmaker, as Pierre would know. We met a few years ago in uni, and I used to think, oh my god, it's so cool, filmmakers are so cool, but I never had any plans of becoming one. And at the beginning of this year, I got the placement at Knowle West, and then we got into lockdown like a month ago.
It's just crazy. We were talking about this at the beginning, right? And I was just doing a bit of research around creative workforce for future filmmakers. I was looking at the website. I was like, yeah. And I could see that your work had kind of already gone up, and they were kind of talking about, and when this happens for 2020, you know, at this stage of the year, this will happen. And then just researching your film and the project, my heart just kind of went, oh, because it's right at the moment where you're about to kind of launch into all of these different things, and then like whack, you know, this whole kind of COVID thing lands right in almost the middle of it, halfway through.
For us, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Started.
Oh no! What?
And then I got sick immediately before the lockdown. So March, I was sick. Early March, 1st of March. So I had a month in the placement, the 12-month placement. And then immediately to lockdown. But it's all right. We're making the best of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the film's wicked. So lockdown news, yeah. Where did the idea come from? And tell me about your cast.
So about a month into lockdown, our project coordinator or manager asked us to, me and Mavis, the other girl that I'm doing the placement with, were asked to reflect on isolation, do like a 2-minute video reflecting on isolation. And she lives alone. So for her, lockdown was quite difficult. And that's what her movie reflects about, her thinking and finding ways to distract herself and chatting to me like over Zoom and stuff. And mine was about living in a house of 8 people. A very different, stressful experience, but I think I took a comedy approach where Mavis took quite a drama.
That's what I loved about both of these films, Dee, is that they contrast really eloquently around, I think, the polarization of emotions that I think we're all feeling. Like one day it just feels like chaos and despair, and then all it can take is one little thing that lightens the load.
Yeah, it was supposed to reflect about how the whole world is your house now. And if there was going to be news, it would be the news about the kitchen and the brand of bread rather than what's going on halfway across the world. And I sort of bribed my little sisters to be in it.
She's brilliant.
15 and 11. And I had to bribe them with sweets and jelly beans and stuff. And and that's why the background changes a lot, because I couldn't get them to stay in the spot for longer than 15 minutes at a time. So they'd leave and I'd have to bribe them to come back, and they'd leave and forget what I told them to say and come back. So it took a day though to do the filming, and then like
really
an hour or two to edit. It's been amazing. The idea, so the reason for creative workforce is it's sort of to develop employment practices in the UK to like in Bristol specifically, stop making it so monotonous, and give chances to like nurture new talent from socio-economic like difficult circumstances or Black and brown people. And Knowle West specifically was to do with filmmaking, and they wrote on their application, on job application, basically Black women specifically. So me and my friend that both applied, I think over 50 people applied for the same position, but we both Black East African women. And yeah, it was incredible to get the opportunity. And neither of us had come from a filmmaking background, which I think was the point. Mavis, the other girl, has been working in a hospital for a couple of years, I think 5-6 years. I was working at the airport before. So when we both got the job, it was the first time either of us had like been anywhere near a camera, the first time any of us had touched any editing software. So we had about a month to get our heads, actually less than a month. 2 weeks was just like introductions to people. And then we had about 2 weeks to get used to cameras an editing software, and then we were off on our own.
Wow.
Whoa.
But it worked out. I learned a lot from YouTube and Skillshare. Yeah, figure it out on my own. It's all good. For me, shooting so far is the most difficult to me because I'm not very technically experienced with filmmaking. So I've only really picked up a camera realistically a dozen times. But I found that I really liked writing the dialogue. It came quite easily, and editing came quite easily as well. I thought there was a bit of instinct to do with it. When I got into it, it was like, oh, okay, this feels right. This seems like it goes well together. But I think it's all about experience and doing it over and practicing. So yeah, I need to get more comfortable with shooting, clearly. Since this project, actually, even though we are kind of stuck at home, I have managed to get a few things like commissioned by the Bristol Vic to do a project on about stealing, working class, and what's considered highbrow, and something else to do with laundry and laundrettes. So different projects, but they both speak to me, and it's completely different genres. But I figured right now, because I'm at the very beginning, I'm just, testing the waters. I figured I'd just go into anything that seems remotely interesting.
Wow.
But yeah, I haven't got any genres or any specific paths. Just throwing myself into any opportunity that I see. It's still going. So it was the way the program is designed is that it's 6 months in a hub. So it's either Spike Islands, Watershed, Knowle West Media Centre, each with a different sort of path. So graphic design or social media managing, content creation, and Knowle West is filmmaking, which is where I ended up. And then after that, after 6 months, we're doing two different placements in industry hubs. So at the moment, I'm in Encounters Film Festival as a digital editor, doing their
Oh, that's brilliant.
The subtitles and stuff. And then I'm moving on to Ardman as a edit assistant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, feel really good.
Sick.
I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you to Knowle West Festival. And creative workforce for future filmmakers. Yay! Trying to do my best, kind of like Kermit the Frog cheer, like yeah. And all the filmmakers that shared their work for this Cables and Cameras event, Homecoming. Yeah, thanks guys, and hopefully we can kind of like update and catch up soon. And yeah, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity again. I've done Cables and Cameras in Knowle West, and it was nice to meet you, Dee. Nice to meet you, Pierre.
Keep
up the good work, man. Yeah, cool, man.
Big up Gary too.
You are the remedy. You're all I'll ever need when I'm standing by your side. When I'm standing by your side. You are the remedy. You're all I'll ever need when I'm standing by your side. I can brave the ones that try to pull me down. Try to pull me down.
And we are back live for the final stretch of the Knowle West Fest 2020. Thank you for joining us and staying loyal. It's been an amazing day. We've had so much fun, lots of creativity, lots of music, lots of love. It's been wonderful. So firstly, I just wanted to talk to you about how amazing those films were from Cables and Cameras. I mean, one of them was extremely profound. Firstly, I just thought, wow. The one about the samurais, I just thought that was absolutely beautiful. The visuals were amazing and the storyline, and it wasn't what I expected, which was great. And secondly, I thought the small video with the young children discussing the weather and the local news in their home, that was so creative and really funny. And I feel like the talk after was brilliant. It was exactly what we needed. It was a culmination of the stories and the artists and how creative they are and how they've brought everything together for us to see. So thank you so much. We were moved. We spoke about it briefly outside. We were all very moved, and everyone in the pavilion really enjoyed it, and we had a good vibe outside. So thank you. We're going to move on to some really cool stuff. But firstly, I'm just going to signpost for in a minute. We are going to watch a short video about how we did the Making Together project, which has the pavilion outside, which we discussed earlier. So you'll see a visual, and that will all make a little bit more sense later. But now I'm going to introduce Knowle West's very own Chinese Lady Gaga, Kate Bush, the awesome Kala Chng. She is a Knowle West resident. I showed you her album earlier. Where's that gone? Where is it gone? Sorry, it's just a second. Showed you the album earlier. We listened to it at home last night, me and the kids, and we're now fans. So go and have a look, check her out on YouTube. She's going to be playing for us live, but we're just going to have a quick chat and she's going to tell us all about it. So come on over, Kala Chng. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. So I'm a bit out of breath, but I literally just got here in time, didn't I?
Thank you so much. Well, so tell us about your album and what it is that you do.
So I write, record, produce and perform my own original pop music with a Chinese twist. And yeah, I've done 7 albums and EPs, and I'm just finishing off another album that I actually wrote over lockdown. So it's got songs that I've written in response to what's happening, songs that I've done call outs and said, what are your thoughts and feelings on what's going on? So I'm really excited about that one, and I've got a really cool co-producer, Doc Moody, who's working with me on it. So we've been working remotely from Bristol to Wales on that one. That's been quite fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else? Tell me more.
Well, I just finished a 6-month Arts Council funded programme where I worked on my performance. Wow. And I did some test shows, including one in Brighton, one in London, in Trafalgar Square.
Wow.
And I'm kind of got a taste of that in today's performance that I've put together. So it basically looked at how I could bring in more Chinese themed props.
That's so cool.
So costume and dance and martial arts, fan dancing and things like that. So I had to, because of the space I usually have a bigger stage, so it was a bit of a, right, okay, I can't spin my parasol in my house while I'm recording this video. So I worked with the smaller props for this one. And it was the first time that I'd done this new type of performance with my drummer, because before I got the Arts Council funding, I was performing with a drummer with a band, and I wanted to do more solo, but I just felt a bit just karaoke, just to sing. So so the funding was help give me time and give me some funds to kind of buy some props and stuff. And so when we did this first rehearsal with the drummer of this one, AJ, he says, why have you got a coat rack with costumes and what's happening? Why are you pulling your dress off? What's going on? It was quite funny. The first 3 rehearsals, he's like, wait, what's happening? What are we doing? And I was like, don't worry, it's fine. We're performing like this. And my dad's like, please be careful that it doesn't look like you're stripping, because I change costumes as I go. So you'll get an idea. So I've had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And the next stage is I'm looking for some funding to work with some strings players I know.
Listening funders?
Oh yeah, so I do all the production. My favourite instrument, in general, or type of instruments are the strings, so the cello, violin, and the erhu, which is a Chinese like upright violin. You kind of play it like a saw, it reminds me of. So it kind of sounds like halfway between a saw and a violin.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so I want to do some like live performance and recording with them, like kind of stripped back. So we did a few like tests at home and stuff. Yeah, so we've just been looking for that, and now I'm starting to work on like how I do more songwriting, like with a purpose.
Yeah.
Because I've always felt really conflicted because I spent half of my life doing community work and half of my life doing music, and the music's always felt really like selfish is the best way I could describe it. And I've always said this like to everyone, and I like wrestle with it all the time, and I wrote a song about it, how I wrestle with that, and it's only over lockdown, a time and space to like stop and think and pause and just try new things, that I realised that I can do music in a way that has a bigger purpose. So yeah, starting to think about how I write songs for like projects and charities, and like to share a mission or to promote something that's like a worthy cause. So, but still being as good and as cool as a pop tune.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point. So like bringing the two together. So that's my new like mission. And yeah, I started off with I've been helping with the local community centre where I've been working with DJ Bungie on a new jingle for the Filwood Fantastic project.
Awesome.
So I've sent him my vocals, he's working on the music, and hopefully we'll have something, yeah, in the coming weeks for the group to hear. They've already fed back on the lyrics and stuff, and I wrote the lyrics in response to the project mission that a group of residents like wrote together.
Yeah.
So I just have to reshuffle the words and swap words to make them rhyme.
Oh, cool.
And then write the melody, yeah.
Oh, fun.
And we,
pretty fun.
Yeah, and we had the brief that we wanted it to sound this was the brief that the residents set, somewhere between Crazy in Love by Beyonce and the Tropicana song. So that was the brief for DJ Bungie, and he was like, okay. Yeah, and then I wrote the lyrics and sang it to the beat he wrote, and he was like, actually, this is going to work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh,
So, yeah.
you're making magic as you go.
Yeah, I've always liked to believe in magic, so if I can make it, that's even better. I don't have to find it.
That's lovely. And so you said you did community work as well?
Yeah, so I do like fundraising, and I run the creative projects and help develop the business models and stuff for a Filwood Community Centre, which used to be about 10 steps literally from my front door, and then I've moved like a 10-minute walk further away because I was just getting too lazy, really. Walking like, oh, I've got to go to work now, 10 steps down the road. Yeah, but
oh wow, so you're really contributing in so many ways to the world, to the community, to your own community, as in like the Chinese, like there's so many, there's such a lack of diversity in music. So actually, it's amazing that you're putting all of it in, showing it and representing your culture.
And it's quite funny because a lot, especially like the way I chat, like a lot of people don't know that and the way I look, a lot of people don't know I'm half Chinese. So if they haven't seen my surname or heard it or worked it out, they're like, why have you got the Chinese in shirt? Or why are you wearing like, and I'm like, honestly, it's not cultural appropriation. I sound and I look like this, but I'm actually half Chinese. My dad is from Hong Kong, it's fine.
No appropriation here.
But essentially, like, I am like learning, like, through music, I have learned more about my culture because I'm like, oh, I want to write something about dragons. Oh, look up the myths of dragons in Chinese, and like, so yeah, I was like learning about my culture because I was having to research to make sure stuff I was putting in my album or the artwork or the video or the storytelling around it was like actually correct.
Yeah. Because actually, a lot of people do. They kind of take bits and bobs as they go and think it's, oh, I'll just put a bit of that in because it's cool, but and it's not authentic, and then it kind of takes away from it. But it sounds like you're really on the right path and you're doing it in the right way. And I just think you're amazing. Honestly, I'm like nerding out right now. So I just think she's really, really cool, and I love that you're a Knowle West and you have a Bristolian accent as well. It's great. It's really authentic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your live performance.
Yeah, and just to answer, like, there is a lot of research out there, but if anyone's wondering why my accent doesn't come out when I sing, I won't bore you with the whole science of it, but basically it's a thing.
It is.
When you sing, you have to shape your mouth differently and your accent disappears. That's the simple version. There's some science you could go look at.
That is why ABBA sound American.
Yeah, so everyone says, like, I know a rapper who's really good, and everyone's like, when are you going to be American? And it's just like, it's not that. Like,
I can't help it.
It's the way you move your mouth to get the notes like louder.
Science fact of the day, guys. That's really important stuff. So thank you so much.
I couldn't tell you the study or the stats.
No, that's fine. Don't worry. We can good old Google. Just write in a sentence. I'm sure it'll come. But thank you so much for talking to us. And well, yeah, just we look forward to hearing you perform really, really soon. And so do you want to go get yourself ready? Yes, cool. Amazing, thank you. So Nat, thank you so much to Kala Chng. We're going to hear in a moment. But I just wanted to let you know what we've got lined up next, which is, and Martha's going to help me because she's awesome.
I'm Martha, one of the creative producers from Knowle West Media Centre. In case you didn't meet me earlier, I'm going to introduce the last few things. What's going to be the final stretch. So we've got a short film that we're going to hear all about the Making Together project. And then we're going to hear from amazing Kala Chng.
Yes, amazing.
So excited
Stay
about
tuned
that.
for that. And then
what's the last two sets?
We've got DJ Bungie and
MC Peng.
Which is a Bristolian slang word for somebody who's good looking, in case you didn't know.
Which I didn't
told
know.
Martha today, so she's learned it's great stuff. So yeah, we've got that. And then finally, we have Gangster Steve, DJ Gangster Steve, who is a Knowle West resident. Yeah. So he's born and bred, and he's gonna play some amazing music for us and mash up the dance floor.
It's gonna be great. So after Kala, 2 hours of DJing, and you can just dance, and that is a hit.
And we're gonna head down to the pavilion and we're gonna watch it live, and it's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have a drink and actually put our feet up, and we're gonna celebrate all our hard work and all of our collaboration and dedication. It's been amazing, hasn't it?
Thank you so much, Tatiana. You've been an amazing host.
I mean, I've tried my best. I might have messed up a few times, but we're here. We did it. We made it through. Thanks to Martha.
Thank you so much to all of the amazing performers and all of the amazing contributors. Big love to you all.
Awesome.
A massive thanks also to the funders of Knowle West Fest this year. That's Filwood Fantastic, funded by Civic and Bristol City Council, for making this all possible.
Exactly.
And
and all of the tech team, amazing Lewis and the lighting guy, just everybody. Josie, get well soon. We've had a great day. I've had an amazing day. This has been an amazing experience, and I can't wait till next year.
Look forward to next year. And to all of you in your homes, dancing around your front rooms, enjoy.
Have a drink and have an amazing night. See you next year. Bye.
Making Together is an experimental project that brings together a whole host of different people and focuses on looking at the design of homes and houses, and how through this process of experimenting and stripping things back, we could think about what those future designs might look like.
So we did this project to explore the possibilities of merging innovative automated technologies with housing production, centering our work around the people in Knowle West as its people who build homes and build community.
We brought local residents from the Knowle West community, and we're training them to give them the skills and the resources to be able to use augmented reality to develop and build structures within their community. Local people are building houses for local people. It's going to reduce transport, it's going to reduce travelling of materials. We're upskilling our own community, so they're going to get skills and be able to improve on their salaries, which they can then put back in the community. So it really is a no-brainer.
Making Together for everyone is important because increasing automation in housing production often doesn't center people's lived experiences, their knowledge, or their cultures in how it is developed.
In this project, what I have been doing is I've been following these worksheets that have been set by the team to think and explore how we live. We've been building lots of things with these blocks, and other people have been working with an app, but I found this has been brilliant. And just making these different blocks that are scale but miniature models of the blocks that the architectural firm have designed that we've been working with. And then I've been kind of balancing these on top of each other, playing with the formats, seeing how they could slip together in different formations. And then I've been kind of designing structures that I've been placing on top of my clipboard and annotating around them.
We go away into teams normally, and we either work online through the Teams app or online through Zoom, and we work on developing maybe a structure through the augmented reality app, or maybe we work on developing some robot movements together, and we just talk and discuss. So each week you're given a task, and those tasks have got progressively harder, and they've kind of progressively started to link together. So now the end task was one, to design a structure for the community, and the second task was to think about how robots are going to enable that structure. So what autonomy can we build into the construction process? One of the first workshops we had to do, the work we were making together for everybody, was to zoom in onto our own homes and look at a way we could change it. And the way I felt of changing that home was giving everybody a space to get away from everybody else. It was, a standard 3-bedroom house used by up to 7 or 8 family members at any one time, and they all need their own space.
At the end of these workshops, we will be installing a one-to-one housing prototype outside of Knowle West Media Centre with the local community, and it will be used for a 1-month-long program of events and activities looking at the future of housing in Knowle West.
The moment you get into those Zoom meetings, you feel connected, you feel as though you're part of a group, you do feel as though you sat around the table talking.
It felt like great to be spurring each other on, and like to end on that high of feeling like, yeah, we just did this together, like actually together, which is really good.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome to Knowle West Fest. I'm Kala Chng. This is AJ Roussel. We're going to be doing you a half-hour set today of original pop music with a Chinese twist. Here we go. It's worth its weight in gold, all the fears you've lost. Another dream unfolds, all the tears are dry. Listen, these whispers falling, your heart it keeps on calling, 'cause they won't stop until you let them fly. It's not a fantasy, you could be that, be that. It's your reality, if you believe that you're superhuman. You're a superhuman. You're a superhuman. You're a superhuman. You're a superhuman. This life is yours to live, let the truth be told. You take the path to give, but you question why. This is so complicated. Why is my fate so fated? Get up now, baby, this is do or die. And it's a long, long life to be wasting, so don't lose sight of your soul. It's a short, short time. Don't be hasty, seek stand tall, I'll fight to be who you are. It's not a fantasy, you could be that, be that. It's your reality, if you believe that you're a superhuman. You're a superhuman. You're a superhuman. You're a superhuman. You're a superhuman.
And I feel guilty for dreaming that I could have it all. It's a dark idea, that's what they say. I keep on coming with my fists up, I do it my way. It's a dark idea, that's what they say. I keep on coming with my fists up, I do it my way. I go running for my future, but my destiny's not clear. I'm too busy looking back now, income creep the fears. Still I feel fire burning, nothing will put out the flame, but I still feel bad for yearning, for my selfish gain. It's a dark idea, that's what they say. I keep on coming with my fists up, I do it my way. It's a dark idea, that's what they say. I keep on coming with my fists up, I do it my way. Dark idea, that's what they say. I keep on coming with my fists up, I do it my way. I do it my way. Big shout out to Arts Council England for funding me to work on my performance last year. This song is called Voices. I hear these voices, I hear these voices, stumbling through the darkest night. Someone say it's gonna be alright. Tired of questioning my heart, knowing who I could be from the start. Do I believe the things they say, or will I do this anyway? Since I was young, I knew my soul, shadowed by the doubt of all. I hear these voices in my head, I fear my choices where they've led. I question who I am, I watch the falling sand. I hear these voices, I fear my choices where they've led. I fear my choices where they've led. My reflection is a blur, clouded by confusion, fear they stir. Sometimes I break down and cry, I see my years go slipping by. But time to stand to show the world, not scared of what the future holds. No wondering what if I die, love no star up in the sky. I hear these voices in my head, I fear my choices where they've led. I question who I am, I watch the falling sand. I hear these voices, I fear my choices where they've led. choices where they bled. Bridging two worlds, hearts split in two. Which one will rule? Tell me what's true. Look at my life, what do you see? I hear your voice, tell it to me. I hear these voices in my head. I fear my choices where they bled. I question who I am. I watch the falling sand. I hear these voices. I fear my choices where they land. I fear my choices where they land. This next one, Strong, goes out to all the strong girls out there who are going through tough stuff. And in fact, all the guys as well. Strong. Stay strong. Strong. It's easy to stay down when the sirens call and we nearly fall. But don't you forget, the fight can be won. We can't come undone. If you're feeling lost, giving up has a cost. Through the world of wrongs, we can learn to stay strong. The fight made me a strong girl, I won't forget. The fight made me a strong girl, I have no regrets. The fight made me a strong girl, I won't forget. The fight made me a strong girl, I have no regrets. Strong. Stay strong. Strong. We live embracing our scars, the shaping who we are, the shaping who we are. We can live and learn. We don't have to burn. We don't have to burn. You can overcome. You don't have to run. Be your future, take hold. Yeah, it's time to be bold. The fight made me a strong girl, I won't forget. The fight made me a strong girl, I have no regrets. The fight made me a strong girl, I won't forget. The fight made me a strong girl, I have no regrets. Strong. Stay strong. Strong. Don't let it take hold. Just let it go. Oh, don't let it take hold. Just let it go. Oh, the fight made me a strong girl, I won't forget. Strong girl, I have no regrets. The fight made me a strong girl, I won't forget. The fight made me a strong girl, I have no regrets. Strong. Stay strong. Strong. AJ Roussel on the drums, everyone. Isn't he wicked? I ask what you got on. This ain't my favorite song. Don't wanna hear you say no, say no. I thought you'd know by now. Thought you'd know somehow. I wanna see you, but you gotta go. Lights out. I found there's nothing but a fantasy. Lights out. I found there's nothing between you and me. Lights out. I found there's nothing but a fantasy. Lights out. I found there's nothing between you and me. They say friends come and go. Well, I guess it's so. Don't wanna see it, but it's clear, it's clear. I guess my heart and soul is empty, burning cold. I guess it's something that's cost me dear. Lights out, I found there's nothing but a fantasy. Lights out, I found there's nothing between you and me. Lights out, I found there's nothing but a fantasy. Lights out, I found there's nothing between you and me. Oh, oh, I might have stumbled. And oh, will you pick me up? And oh, as my life crumbles, who's got the building blocks? Who's got the building blocks? Lights out, I found nothing but a fantasy. Lights out, I found there's nothing between you and me. Lights out, I found there's nothing but a fantasy. Lights out, I found there's nothing between you and me. Nothing but a fantasy. Nothing between you and me. Nothing but a fantasy. Cool. I'm just gonna grab a drink of water and I got 2 more songs for you. Firsty one. This one's called Dance Floor. It's about falling in love on the dance floor. The night you took my hand, you said something grand, you led me away. Kisses kept coming, you said I was something, you saw me so perfectly. I felt it on the dance floor, really I'm so unsure. Tell me, is this even reality? And now you say you love me, are you thinking of me? Every time when you just get up and leave. You and me, laid me down, no fear, whispered in my ear what you'll do to me. I could not believe, eyes locked, future brave, something from a fantasy. I felt it on the dance floor, with you I'm so unsure. Tell me, is this even reality? And now you say you love me, you're thinking of me. Every time when you just get up and leave, you and me. What could this be? You and me. What could this be? I felt it for oh so long. I felt it growing strong. I felt it for oh so long. And I felt it oh so strong. And I felt it on the dance floor. And with you I'm so much more. I felt it on the dance floor. And with you I'm so much more. I felt it on the dance floor. So unsure, is this even reality? And now you say you love me, thinking of me. Every time when you just get up and leave. Right, after all that subtle on and off, I actually now need to drink water. But we got this one last song for you. It's called Lost Ones. And it's for all the lost out there. We're gonna find our way. Oh, when the wind is calling, I hear her talk to me. She said your life's not falling, it's just a gentle breeze. And she knows how it goes when you cry alone. But it's time to stop and see. I see, I see, I see who I can be, who I can be, who I can be. Oh, oh. We are the lost no more. We are the lost no more. I hear you, sorrowed stranger. Thanks for your honesty. I see you're scared and hurting. I see you're just like me. And to know how it goes when you cry alone. But it's time to stop and see. I see, I see, I see who I can be, who I can be, who I can be. Oh, oh. We are the lost no more. We are the lost no more. Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's time to see. Stand up, stand up, stand up, it's time to be. Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's time to see. Stand up, stand up, stand up, it's time to be. I see, I see, I see who I can be, who I can be, who I can be. Oh, oh. We are the lost no more. We are the lost no more. Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's time to see. Stand up, stand up, stand up, it's time to be. Stand up, stand up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. This is for the lost ones. It's time to stand up. AJ Roussel on drums, everybody. Woo! I'm Kala Chng. This is Knowle West Fest. Big shout out to Lewis, our sound engineer. And thank you for everyone who's come to watch. I hope you enjoy whatever's next. I should know that really, shouldn't I? Happy Knowle West Fest.